Welcome to moviemandu TV.
Thank you. Thank you for welcoming me.
Uh, what should be your tips for Nepali filmmaker?
I'm going to explain the global film business. The key word is business. Nepal, you understand art and you have the talent, but what you don't understand is the film business. It's called show business. It's not called show art. That's not meant as like a joke. So what I'll be teaching the first day is the business of making your first, what we call independent feature film. And what I'll be teaching the second day is the business of selling that first independent feature film, making a profit. And when you know how to make a feature film, and you know how to sell and make a profit, then you'll be able to, which I'll teach on the second day, finance your feature film. So I'm focusing totally on show business, not show art.
Okay. How important business for Nepali movie industry rather than arts?
They're both extremely important. They're both extremely important. Art is super important, but I was brought here by the Kathmandu School of Cinema to teach the business of making the art and the business of selling the art. They're both equally as important, but Nepal seems to focus much too much on the art of it with very little talk and teaching about the business of it. That's why the Kathmandu School of Cinema asked me to come.
Low budget films are being made yearly 67 or more than 70-80 ratio, so that in low budget how Nepali movie could competition with Hollywood, Chinese and Indian film industry.
Okay, I got you. Now, there's an industry that's called Bollywood, and you have the southern, in India, you have the Hindi marketplace, the Tamil marketplace, the Telugu, the Kannada marketplace, and there's nothing wrong with it. There, the movies are about 2.5 hours long, and in America, we nickname the 4x4. You have the formulas that are 4 fight scenes, 4 singing, 4 dancing scenes, and a nice story with romance and everything seems to evolve, and it's a very happy ending, and it's a very successful formula. Now in India, you're building a lot of multiplexes, and real estate owners want to make more money. Now the Bollywood formula, the Hollywood formula, they will keep doing that. However, now the multiplexes, the megaplexes in India also want the 90-minute to 100-minute 40 to 50 scene movies without the singing and dancing, with the character-driven storytelling. That's what I'm here to teach. And if you do that here in Nepal, that I believe will go to the multiplexes in India, but not for the Bollywood formula or the Hollywood formula, for the independent film formulas that they want. That's what I'm here to teach.
Nepal is in the process of box office software installment process. Government recently summons the bidding process by the Film Development Board. How is it important to film producers to save their money?
I think it's wonderful. Now, this is America. Truly in America, when somebody says Hollywood, we call it the 6 major distributors: Warner Brothers, Paramount, 20th Century, Universal, Buena Vista, Disney, Sony. They make feature films. But where does the money come from? It's called box office gross. Wait, who collects that money? Box office, that's theater owners. That's not distributors, that's real estate owners, that's shopping center owners. Now, in America, when Warner Bros., Paramount, 20th Century puts their film, and they put them in theaters around America, it literally takes 4 to 6 months before they collect from the theater owners, and we really don't know how to monitor them. And the theater owner collects the money, supposedly the theater owner, and it somehow takes them 4 to 6 months to report box office gross, but then the theater owner takes out 50%. What's left is they give to the distributors. That process takes 4 to 6 months. So what you're saying now is we don't have the government in it. We just do it with capitalism, and the theater owners are a little bit crooked in America. Now, what you just said is happening here is the government says, we're going to get in and monitor. And probably want a tax or a little bit. I think that's wonderful because they're going to go collect. That's your collection agency. I think it's wonderful. Don't go it's negative that we want the government in and they're going to start doing. No, they're your collection agency. And they're the ones that are going to collect from the theater owners probably within a week to 2 weeks. I think that's wonderful. I would love to have that in America. Don't write that up that that's a negative. That's a positive that's there.
Okay. How Nepali film industry can attract corporate houses and conglomerates in Nepal?
You got to market exactly what you are. You're this fascinating location, but that's not enough. I could go to Mount Kilimanjaro and call it Everest. You're this fascinating location the world's curious about. We know that, but that's not the marketing. That's the presenting. And we are so efficient that we, with your $200,000, can make a movie that will cost you $2 million to make. Market what you are. Inexpensive. Inexpensive. You're the inexpensive place to make movies that the globe or the world is curious about. That's what, if I was here, that's what I would be focusing on. If I was the National Film Board of or Nepal, I would set up a booth at the Cannes market, the Berlin market, and the AFM market, and the booth would say, $2 million in production for only 200,000. Bring your 200,000, we'll give you $2 million in production.
Nepal, last year 67 movies were released. Hardly
That's a real
out of them,
industry.
7 or 8 movies became super hit, other than became flop and disaster. How is it good for film industry's health in Nepal?
You don't understand global. Now, in America, we released about 400 movies. Probably out of 400 movies, 380 of them lose money from the theatrical window. From the theatrical window. Here's the phrase. You make films, we make movies. When does a film become a movie? When it's in a movie theater. When it's in a movie theater that charges admission and there are billboards. When there are billboards and there are newspaper ads, which I see for some Hollywood films, I don't see independent. I saw the newspaper this morning, and I saw some little ads for Hollywood films, but I saw none for any independent. But once I see an ad, and now in America, to go to the cinema, now in America, it's the same thing happens. It goes to the theater owners. Now, where do we get profits from? We get profits from what did the other 99 people do that saw the movie advertised but didn't go to the theaters? They're going to do on-demand, pay-per-view, DVD, pay cable, basic cable, TV, and then we take that. That's where the profits come from, the other revenue streams. You got to create a perceived value. You think the whole energy is it's in theaters. No! No! Wrong! That's the advertising. That's the billboard. It's worth in America $10 to $12. Now you're going to rent it for $1 to $2, or you're going to stream it or archive it. That's where the profits come from. You don't do that here. Wait, then you put it at a film market and sell it to Italy, Germany, Japan, Korea, Ecuador, Brazil, Singapore, Malaysia, Indonesia, Korea, Hong Kong, Philippines, Japan. And why don't we put a Chinese person in? China's bigger than Hollywood now. That's what I'll be teaching.
Recent weeks, I had read the statement by Martin Scorsese. He said that
Say it again, please.
Martin Scorsese said that recent weeks. I read that he said that the cinema is dead. Are you agree with
The
this
what?
statement?
The what? With them. I think it's bigger than ever. I think it's bigger and bigger than ever. And I think next year it's going to be bigger than this year, and the year after it's going to be bigger than the next year, with all the internet, with all these revenue streams, with all these kids with Facebook, with all the on-demand stream, with the little plastic DVDs and the Blu-rays. I think it's bigger and bigger than ever. Where the single big box office movies, they're less and less. That's Scorsese's world. So Scorsese's world is smaller and smaller with fewer and fewer product. I agree. But all the other worlds, are bigger and bigger and bigger.
What is the biggest mystery of Hollywood?
That we're an advertising marketing industry. We're not a filmmaking industry. We create perceived values called movies. Then we cash in for profits from the on-demand pay-per-view in the foreign market. It's not about the theater owners. It's not about theaters. That's advertising.
Thank you for precious times.
You're welcome.